The Dopey Challenge is back for 2022 here on the Do Hard Things Today podcast. All right, Hal Mars, we are back and we are talking Dopey Challenge. Last year we were virtual, and for those of you that know what's going on, the Dopey Challenge is, well, the crown jewel of Run Disney events is the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend. It's usually the weekend after New Year's, usually the second weekend of January is the Walt Disney World Marathon weekend. And for those of you that have followed the podcast or are familiar with Run Disney events, you know that there are two challenges that Disney offers on that weekend. And one of them is the Goofy Challenge. And the Goofy Challenge is you run the half marathon, which is on Saturday, and you follow that up with the full marathon, which is on Sunday. And if that's not goofy enough for you, they have what they call the Dopey Challenge. The Dopey Challenge starts on Thursday. You run a 5K on Thursday. And all of these races are separate as well. So you have individual 5K, individual 10K, individual half, and individual full. But you run the 5K on Thursday, the 10K on Friday, the half marathon on Saturday, and then the full marathon on Sunday. And so it's 48.6 cumulative miles over a 4-day period. And that's why they call it the Dopey Challenge. And so for those of you that have been following us, for the last couple of years, you know that there are what you call perfect dopies. Right now, there are 469 of those left, and that means that they have completed the Dopey Challenge every single year, going back 9 years now. That you have completed the Dopey Challenge, and so that's a pretty cool deal. But I just wanted to we're a little bit under 2 months out, and I just wanted to go through real quickly, and we'll do another one month out to talk just some reminders about race day and those kind of things. But I just wanted to take a chance to talk about a few of these things. And the first one I want to talk about is okay, if you're less than 2 months out and you have not been doing the training as you should be doing, you're not going to be able to catch all that up in a month and a half's time. So you've got to really manage your expectations, because it is we'll talk about the Dopey Challenge when we've done other podcasts about it, and it is very manageable if you have prepared for it. And so if you have not done the preparation at this point, what you need to start doing now is you need to be getting in some long. If you're doing, let's say if your longest run up to this point has been 8 miles. And surprisingly, there's a lot of you out there right now that you're in that point.
Maximum of 8, yeah.
Yeah. What you're going to have to start doing is every week you're going to have to start inching that out about a mile, your long run about a mile at the time. And then I would encourage you to practice some long walks. Now, that may sound, well, I don't want to go out and walk for 2 hours. Well, I'm just telling you, if you're going to complete this challenge, you're going to be out there on that marathon course for a long time, because, quite frankly, you just haven't put the prep work in to be able to be ready. So, what can you do? And I just wanted that was just a quick word for those of you that are looking to say, hey, I'm just not prepared. I'm not prepared for it. What can I do to get myself as ready as I can? You need time on your feet. And if that's just going out and walking for 2 hours and just inching, maybe what you do is you do your long run on Saturday, and then on Sundays you do a long walk run where you walk 3 minutes and then run a minute. I mean, whatever that's got to be, but just to get time on your feet, because that's going to be, man, I'm telling you, that Sunday can be a long day if you're not ready for it. So that would just be that quick word to those of you that are not ready. Now, the rest of the podcast will be for those of you that are you're either ready and you've been following a training plan, or you're close to being ready and we're going to talk about just race day logistics, just some things that you should be aware of. One of the big things is the logistics of getting to the race, and there's really two different groups. You've got the group that stays on Disney property, and I would encourage you that if you can swing staying on Disney property, that is the best way to do it, because you ride the bus gets you there. You don't have to worry about driving into the traffic, because they're all 5 a.m. starts now. And so you're starting at 5 o'clock in the morning, and what that means is you got to back up to 3:30. They'll tell you 3:30 at the latest to leave your hotel. Most people like to leave a little bit earlier than that, but if you're on the bus, then all you got to do is make it to the bus. You get to the bus, they'll get you there. If you're driving in, or if you're Ubering in, whatever it is from outside the Walt Disney World property, you just want to give a little bit. You want to give a little bit more time to be able to get in.
I'm gonna add one.
Yeah.
If you're driving in, remember where you parked.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because huge parking lot, and
I'm gonna call any names out there if she's listening to the podcast.
Yeah, yeah, and you got to remember
parking in the dark.
Yeah,
before
the race. Well, and you got to remember
park.
too, you're going to be trying to find your parking lot right after you. I mean, trying to find your car right after you ran a marathon too.
Yeah,
so
you won't be walking around everywhere.
Yeah, so you're gonna start in the pitch dark, and then you're gonna finish, and it's gonna be light, and you're gonna be looking for your car. So yeah, that's a good point. Good point, Hal. Especially 2 years ago, the last time we ran live at Disney, Marathon Day was a logistical nightmare. People were coming in late. They had a lot of traffic backups, and they ended up delaying the start of the race because the difference now is the course. They changed the course. Maybe if you ran the course 3 years ago, from 3 years ago to 2 years ago, they changed the course. And the course now, you start and you run the start of the marathon course. You run straight down the main little road right outside it, and then you take a left and you snake your way into Epcot before you head to the Magic Kingdom. And because of that, you cross over the main entry point to Epcot. And so they can't start the race until everybody they're going to let in is in. I do know that there were quite a few people that did not make it in to the start of that race because they were running behind. Mm-hmm. And just don't be you don't want your race to be messed up that way. So just remember the logistics of that morning, and you don't want the anxiety of having to rush around. Practice. That's something that often goes ignored, is you don't practice getting up early in the morning to do some runs. You don't have to do them all like that, but I would encourage you to at least one time during your training block to do at least a couple of super early morning runs back to back and practice those things. And so just keep that in mind from a logistical standpoint. If you're staying outside of Disney, again, just give yourself a little bit more time to be able to get to the course. The course did change, and again, for those of you that maybe ran 3 years ago or before, used to be you would run from Epcot straight to Magic Kingdom. You'd be entering into Magic Kingdom at about between mile 5 and 6 was when you were in Magic Kingdom. Now you're at about mile 10 when you're down there. So that's a difference. The other big difference is, and this has been a point of contention for us that have been doing this for a long time, is the Wide World of Sports. Gosh, I'm so glad they took that part of the course out. Some people liked it, but instead of going to Wide World of Sports, you actually go down through Western Way, which you run into the Animal Kingdom, and you snake around in the back of the Animal Kingdom. You come back out on Western Way, and you run up by Coronado Springs, and then you actually go into Blizzard Beach and run around in Blizzard Beach a little bit, and come out. So those are two big course changes, and it is I mean, there's no other way to say it. I mean, the Western way, I mean, there's nothing exciting about that, but you're not running around in wide world of sports for that long as well. That used to just be the worst part of the race for me, but you're not doing that anymore. You know, it's a weather-wise, you can, I mean, how on, some of the other podcasts we've talked about this of it's been, I've run the 5K on Thursday and it's been 30 degrees, and then on Sunday, by the time the marathon gets around, it's 85 degrees.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Florida. You got to be prepared for that, and it can change in a matter of a couple of days.
Yeah.
So if have your, have some cold weather gear, also, but even if it's cooler, you don't want to. It is Florida. More than likely, at least one of these days is going to be hot, and you just want to be prepared. You want to be prepared for that. So strategy. Let's talk about the strategy of these races. How do you take on, and especially those of you that are doing a challenge like this for the first time? I think there's 3 ways you can attack these 4 races. Number one, you can treat them all as separate races. It means you go into the 5K and you run your 5K as a race. Go in the 10K, run 10K as a race. Half marathon is same thing with the full marathon. I think that makes it very challenging on Sunday for the full marathon. Well, and let me talk about the other 2 strategies, and I'll tell you why. I think strategy 2 is to have the half marathon as your key race, where you're gonna really go out and try to run a strong half marathon. Mm-hmm. If you do that, you can do a 5K. Just on your 5K on Thursday, just run it regular like you usually would. 10K day, you want to take it easy. You want to slow it down, maybe run, walk more, maybe stop and see the characters, take pictures, whatever you want to do, but really slow it down on that one just to let your body get ready for Saturday. Then Saturday, you go out and run the half marathon like a half marathon race. Yep. Go out and just lay the hammer down, try to do it. Then on Sunday, you take Sunday as, I'm going to enjoy the experience. I'm going to stop for the character spot. I'm going to ride rides. I'm going to take all the pictures. I'm going to do all that stuff, and I'm going to go out there and just enjoy the experience. You're going to be out there for a longer time because you're stopping for all these things. But, I mean, quite frankly, you're paying a whole lot of money to be at Disney to run these races. Why not enjoy it?
Enjoy it, yeah. Yep.
The third strategy is the exact opposite of that, which is you attack the full marathon. Mm-hmm. And if you're going to do that, the key race is your half marathon, is slowing it down, and basically you just flip them, where you're going to do all the character spots, pictures, slow it down. You'll see a lot of people that are doing this that will half marathon. They'll walk. They'll just walk the whole half marathon, and they'll walk between characters and just enjoy the ride. Remember, the balloon ladies are 16 minutes. So your 16-minute miles is what you have to maintain to not get swept up and be taken off the course.
With all the rest stops, too.
Yep.
Right, yep.
But that 16 minutes starts when the very last people cross the start line. Mm-hmm. So if you're starting in a forward corral, you may start 30 minutes before the balloon ladies start. So in the course of 13 miles, take that 30 minutes, that's another 2.5 minutes that you've got added on. So technically you could do 18-minute miles and still not get swept up.
Right.
And if you do that on the half marathon day, you can be prepared for the full marathon. And then you're going out and you're running the full marathon. You get asked the question of, well, what about the course? Is it a fast course? Can you PR on the course? That kind of thing. It's Florida, so it's flat, except for the only places you get any kind of increase in elevation is going to be when you're going up the exit ramps, and when you're crossing a bridge. That'll be the only time you have that. You could PR. Here are the challenges. It's a congested course in that there are a lot of runners. Now, I don't know, and they have not released. We don't know how many people are going to be running this year. Due to the code, we don't know how much they cut back on the number of people that are going to be running. But gosh, there's been upwards of 25,000 people in one of these races before. Now it's not going to be that many this year, I can assure you of that. But you still, and you have people of all levels. You'll have elite runners, and most of them are going to be up front. But you will have really good runners mixed in with people who are just straight up walking, and that can create some issues. But you can PR if that's what you decided to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why you would do that, because again, you're spending a whole lot of money for an experience. There's a whole lot of flat marathon courses you can find to go try to PR on. You're at Disney, enjoy what you're doing, while you're here. So the course can get congested, but man, there are so many good things out on the course. I mean, characters, pictures. I don't know how they're going to handle all of that they haven't released a whole lot about what their protocols are going to be. So I don't know how all that's going to work. I don't know if they will be just kind of doing the walk-by pictures, or if they will be doing the character meet and greets like they usually do on the course.
Got to be some stormtroopers out there.
Yeah, man, there will be stormtroopers. When we go through, I mean, there will be. I know that.
The Star Wars.
Yeah, with everything going on with Star Wars, but I think it's I think it's important to go into this weekend with. I think you need to enjoy being there, for all four of these races. Again, it's Disney. You paid a lot of money. Enjoy, take everything in. Try to enjoy it. The best you can. The 5K. It's just your basic 5K. It's at Epcot. You run. You make one loop around Epcot. The lake there over in the Nations, and then you're done. 10K, you just get out you start at Epcot, get out on the road, run around the road, run through Epcot, you get out on the boardwalk, run around the boardwalk, come back in. That's that. Half marathon, you start at Epcot, you just run straight shot down the Magic Kingdom, run through the Magic Kingdom, straight shot back, run through Epcot, and you finish there. Full marathon, you start at Epcot out on the road, and then you make a quick loop through Epcot, not all the way through. You don't go all the way around, the Nations, but you run through Epcot, and then you go to Magic Kingdom, and then you come out of Magic Kingdom. You head the back way, go to Animal Kingdom. Animal Kingdom, you'll come out, hit Western Way, go to Blizzard Beach, back over to Hollywood Studios, back over to Epcot, back to the parking lot, and you're done. So, you get to see all the parks in the marathon. That's the special part of this, and and I think that's the thing that is, just makes it different. I mean, you're going through all the parks. You're really, just getting an opportunity to do something that's it's just a different. It's just different than all of the ones that we do around here. I wanted to get a couple of the Facebook groups that we're in. Gave an opportunity to just do some questions, and again, we'll do another one of these that'll be about a month out. That'll cover some more of the details of being there for the race. But one of the questions that came in was, how does the collection of the challenge medals work? So one of the best things about the Dopey Challenge is you end up with 6 medals. 5K medal, 10K medal, half marathon medal, full marathon medal, plus the Goofy Challenge medal, plus the Dopey Challenge medal. And so what ends up happening is, end of the 5K, just like any race, you get a medal. Same thing 10K, same thing half marathon, same thing full marathon. The difference is, after the full marathon, you get your marathon medal, and then you go over to the tent, and they pull you up by your bib number, and they've got a picture. They take your picture at the beginning of the at the expo, and they pull it up, and picture matches. They give you, and they look at your times. I mean, they look at, did you complete all 4? Then they give you the Goofy Challenge medal, and then they give you the Dopey Challenge medal. So you end up with 6 total medals, and so you get 3 medals on marathon day. And so that's the way. And it's funny, if you're going out to the parks, you can put all 6 of those medals on.
And they make a nice.
Oh man, and these
bling, bling, bling.
Oh, and these are the nicest medals you'll get. I mean,
yeah.
they are huge, and you're walking around in there, clank, clank, clank.
Yeah.
You look like Mr. T, if you remember Mr. T from the A Team. That's what you look like. So that is that's what somebody asking about Run Disney merchandise. The expo has it's a complete floor slam full of it. So as you're picking up your bibs, you'll have the opportunity to buy Run Disney merchandise, race specific merchandise, and to be able to get that. And so, but I mean, it comes now. I don't want Disney to get mad at me, but you get 4 shirts that come with. Actually, you get 6 shirts. You get one for each race, plus you get both challenge things. So you get 6, pretty nice
those too.
shirts. And so I always do that. I don't buy anything else. Somebody asked about best places to stay. As I've said, if you can swing staying on Disney property, logistically, that is the best. By far, in my opinion, that's the best way. You just got to worry about getting out of your room and getting to the bus stop. You get on the bus, and that's that. So that's a good one. Let's see. We've got one about hearing about the road from a fall marathon to Dopey. If you've done a fall marathon, I think you're right on track. The real difference is you're going to need to start. Whereas your long run, training for a marathon, generally what happens is you run your long run on Saturday or Sunday, and usually what you do is the day before you're not running, you don't run the day before to save your legs, and obviously that's a different thing for Dopey. And so what you can probably do is, coming off of a marathon, is having a couple of weeks of just recovery, just kind of getting your leg, because a marathon's it's really tough on your body. Having a couple of weeks of recovery, then jumping back in, and kind of maybe you're just doing those back-to-back runs where you're maybe doing 8 miles on a Saturday, and then 13 miles on a Sunday. And if you get a few of those in, and maybe bump that long run up to, since you've already got the 26 under your belt, maybe bump that long run up to 15, 16 after an 8-mile run, I think you're going to be fine. So if you've done a full marathon in the fall, you're going to be in a really good shape. One of the other questions is just about nutrition, and what can you do nutrition wise between races to recover. I think you need to practice that. Like you said, Hal, your food of choice for your races is chocolate chip waffles with peanut butter.
Yeah, breakfast the day of.
Yeah, I think you want to practice these things. The challenge with Disney is this for many people. Like the Dopey Challenge is a once in a lifetime deal, and if you're going down and you're taking family down and you're going to be at Disney, you're probably going to want to go to the parks. And quite frankly, if you're going to go to the parks while you're there, you're not going to be resting your feet as much as you should. I think you just embrace that and just understand that, hey, this is an experience. I'm not going to PR. I'm going to finish these races. I'm going to enjoy the experience. My family's going to enjoy the experience of being here. Ideally, and you can do this. Well, there's if you're wanting to go to somebody asked, how can you have a park strategy and still be able to recover? There's a couple of ways you can do that, and you can go to the parks very first thing. You can finish your race, get back to your hotel, take a shower, eat breakfast, go to the parks when they open, stay at the parks till 1 o'clock or so in the afternoon, then go back to your room and rest, get your feet up in the air, whatever. Or you can go back after the race, take a shower, lay down, take a nap, and then in the afternoon go out to the parks, spend 4 or 5 hours in the parks, come back, get those feet back up again. So, I mean, you can do it. I wouldn't stress that much about it. If you're there and it's important to you to go out into the parks, especially if you got your family there with you, I would encourage you to just go do it and let the chips fall where they may. And if you're if it knocks 30 seconds a mile off your time, so be it, man. You're at Disney. Enjoy what you're doing. It is important to hydrate, not only hydrate, but get electrolytes in. Just drinking water is not going to be enough for a 4-day period like that. Get some kind of sport drink where you're taking in some good electrolytes and do that. And then just stretch, as soon as you're done, stretch in between your, and you can look up stretching for runners, or even better yet, go on YouTube and look up yoga for runners. And go ahead, Al.
I've taken up yoga.
Yeah. I mean, it really builds in flexibility. So, those are just some things that you can do to self-care. Ice baths, and those scare some people, but on Saturday, especially after you run the half marathon, if you can go get in the tub and what you can do is, if you can't take the shock of just jumping in to ice, just use regular cold water out of the spigot, and have some buckets of ice or bags of ice, get into the thing, and then just put the ice in. Then it brings that temperature down a little bit slower. Those are very effective and can really help your legs recover in between the two races. And and just be, best thing you can do right now is make sure you're sticking to your plan, staying consistent. And if you've been staying consistent the whole time, you're gonna be in really good shape whenever you get to the race. If you haven't been, go back to the beginning of this podcast and do what I said. Maybe you're just going to be spending a lot of time out there walking. Prepare for that. Get yourself ready for that. So, Hal, anything you want to add? You've been down. You haven't done the Dopey Challenge, but you've been down there and
I have
seen people.
spectated. It's very exciting. Yep, especially seeing everybody walking around with their medals.
Yeah,
afterwards, it's pretty cool.
Really good time. Good time. So this is part 1. We will come back and have another 1 month out that will just talk about some more specific things, and we'll do some more FAQ, and just be ready. But again, you'll be listening to this about a month and a half out from Dopey. So get yourself in gear, get ready. Before you turn around, we will be at Walt Disney World running the Dopey Challenge. So just remind you, just like we do on every podcast, and this is so true with Dopey training as well, if you will do the hard things today, tomorrow will take care of itself.